Hello. Today, I thought about something. So, I watch a couple chess YouTube channels, and I don't know. There's this one that I really have started to like. This one series he does. It's called the Game Reviews, where he just takes like any random game from like pros or even most of the times he does like regular people off of his friends list that he just like finds games from. He just reviews them, breaks them down turn by turn, and actually that's I don't know, I got inspired, really inspired actually. I don't know, I just thought it was so insightful, just so cool how knowledgeable he was of the game and how he like presented the knowledge and just like teaches you and stuff. So I figured I was going to try something that was Pokemon, and I was considering even making a new channel, so I think I might do that. But anyways, I haven't actually rewatched this battle yet. I'm going to do it live and just go at this because I think I can. It's versus Quite Quiet, and if you guys are ever in the NU chat, you probably know him. I think he's like a mod or a driver or something. Um, but he's quite quiet. I don't think he talks that much, so I don't know that much about him or know him personally. But I'm sure we know each other mutually. And either way, I know he's decent at the game. So we both played pretty interestingly. And I let off with Plumes, seeing that he has nothing to prevent the sleep, and I was fearing the banded aerial ace. I did a calc, it does have a chance to straight OHKO me, so I went into Musharna. I saw that he was not banded by that damage, and I don't know why, but my mindset was that he was scarfed. So right now I'm thinking that he's scarfed, and he goes into Mawile. I'm like, okay, he's probably going to set up rocks or do something set up. I'm just going to baton pass out and go into my Vileplume. I did think of this before because now he's in Mawile, which can't really do anything to me at all. He probably doesn't want to attack me because most Vileplumes are physically defensive, and I could get the Effect Spore, and I'm actually faster than him, and I'm able to put him asleep right on the bat. And now I'm thinking I'm just going to go into my Seismitoad as a good time to set up the rocks. He has to go into Claydol to spin, and it actually pairs up very well versus Mawile. And let's see what he does here. I actually don't remember. He goes into his Muck, maybe? No. Scyther. He goes into Scyther. So here, oh, I made a big mistake. I thought he was just Scarfed, and he was going to go for the U-turn. But no, in fact, he sets up the Swords Dance, making a very good prediction, predicting me to go for the rocks, which was an obvious play. And let me just pause it. From here on out, he probably could have straight won the game, but you will see what happens in a little bit. I go straight into Musharna just as fodder. And actually, here, let me explain my reasoning here. Looking at his team, let me look at his team. Yeah, I did look at his team. I was like, okay, I have stuff for Muck. I have Kangaskhan to hit it with Earthquake and Fake Out and Double Edge. I can put it to sleep after I get rid of Mawile. I have my Seismitoad to completely wall it. And I just, it's more specially defensive, and I can hit it hard on the physical side with these three guys. I have Vileplume to basically wall it, and also for Hariyama, I have my Vileplume, and I just didn't see myself using it very much. It doesn't do well versus this guy. It gets some momentum, but I don't really need it for Claydol. I have plenty other things, don't need to point out. I just was thinking that Musharna was a good thing to fodder at this point in the game. I don't really need a pivot, although it's nice. I saw Vileplume and Seismitoad being more useful versus his team. If you look at it and evaluate it, you might see the same. But anyways, my Musharna falls in 2 hits, and I go into Persian just to see what he's gonna do, and I'm gonna go for the Fake Out, and I see that it only does 20 damage, so I know that my Double Edge is gonna do about 40. So I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do here? And I U-turn out. I'm thinking about foddering my Seismitoad, but I'm like, no, he can spin away the rocks, and I really want the rocks up, seeing how big of a threat this Scyther is, and it could even have Roost as its 4th move. So I go into Vileplume simply as fodder, hoping for the Effect Spore. He does, in fact, OHKO me. Well, I mean, that's actually a given. He would have OHKO'd me either way. And I go into Persian just to, I don't even know. I was thinking I lost this game right here. But as always, I try to keep playing my games unless it's a like sure loss. But he switches out, which is very interesting to me because if I were him, I would have stayed in, knowing that I could have taken a Fake Out plus a Double Edge, unless I got a crit, and been able to take another Pokemon out, which is a lot. 3 versus 6. So I'm in fact going to go for the U-turn as he switches into Claydol, and I'm going to go into my Persian, or not my Persian, my Liepard. And I was thinking about going for the Pursuit, but if he stayed in, he could have, like, I don't know, I probably could have gone for the Pursuit, but I just didn't really Nothing had gotten knocked off yet, so I was just going to knock off anything that came in. And yeah, I felt like knockoff was a safer play. Maybe Pursuit was a bit more obvious. But either way, I get the leftovers off of the Mawile, which is nice, so it won't be recovering any more health, and it's asleep, so I'll be able to knock it out and get something else asleep. Just kidding, my Vileplume is already asleep. So he goes into Hariyama as I'm going to U-turn out, and I feel like I'm going to go into my Kangaskhan right here. Yeah, I am going to go into my Kangaskhan. I do remember this, knowing that a Fake Out and Double Edge can normally take out Hariyama. Though I do get a bit of recoil, the Hariyama gone is definitely a good thing for my team looking at it right now. So I am going to go for the Fake Out. And then I remember calculating this, so I had to get max damage. If he was the 128 defense set, I had to get max damage to take him out with a double edge. So I was thinking about, I guess he thought I was going to take him out because, as you see, I go into Seismitoad, thinking and knowing I can outspeed it if he goes for the close combat, and probably be able to take him out, or not take him out, but do a good amount of damage and get 2 at KO'd basically. So he switches out into Mawile though, predicting me to go for the double edge again, and I don't, in fact, and I'm just going to stick the Earth Power right here, not being too scared of the 2 things with Levitate coming in, or the 2 things that avoid it coming in, because if Scyther comes in, that's a good amount of damage, and he can't OHKO me. And he has Giga Drain right here. Okay, let me show this. So that really threw me off. So my thought process here was, okay, I could use Seismitoad for Lantern, for this guy, this guy, this guy. I could use it for everything on his team right now, and I'm still at a good amount of health without recovery other than leftovers. So, and he's going to go for the Giga Drain. And I know I can 2-hit KO him even with the leftovers and Giga Drain recovery. So my thought process was to go into Kangaskhan, who's at, I think, full health, and he would go for the Giga Drain and not do a lot of damage to me, since Muck is definitely not specially based, and I would be able to get a lot of offensive momentum. The Mawile is still asleep, so I could double edge or even Earthquake if I wanted to, not scared of the 2 things that avoid ground coming in. So let me play from here. He actually makes a great play right here. He predicts that, seeing that Seismitoad is a very valuable part of my team, and he doesn't really need Muck as much as I need Seismitoad for sure. So he makes the prediction and goes for the Poison Jab. Luckily, that is actually a factor. He does not get the Poison Jab, which was very likely to happen if he did have the move or the ability to get it. And I'm just going to stick for the Fake Out, I think, right here. No, Earthquake, yes, that's right, because I would have taken him out either way. That's right. I'm going to go for the Earthquake, not scared of the things coming in, and I'm not going to overpredict here. I don't really care if he wants to bring in Scyther or Claydol. I'll just attack them. So I just stuck the Earthquake, not wanting to take any risks at this point in the game. He brings in his Claydol. I'm not going to go for the double edge. In fact, I'm going to switch directly to my Seismitoad, knowing that he's going to want to rapid spin those rocks immediately. And I did not know Claydol was going to be faster than me. I think this thing has about 75 base speed, so they normally do run creeps. I'm going to have to look that up so that I can make my Seismitoad faster than them, because right now my Seismitoad is at 210 speed, so that it cannot speed Adamant Golurk. Or I think that's Adamant Golurk, maybe Jolly Golurk, I don't really know. I just Golurk is what I was looking for. That speed tier, and Cacturne. So I get my rocks up as he goes to the Psyshock, and I didn't really want to go directly into my Liepard, but he made a great play going for the Psyshock first, because as you will see here, I don't want to get my rocks up. I want to switch out before he gets me down low. So I'm going to go into my my Liepard on this turn. Whew, and he makes a great play, goes for the Earth Power, gets 71 damage and the special defense drop, which doesn't matter at all. And I'm actually just going to U-turn. I don't care if he stays in or switches. I'm going to U-turn out of there and get the offensive momentum, kill him if he stays in, and if he goes out like he does. And when he brought in Muck, I was just thinking about how I could have gone for the knockoff since everything had its item. But what my thought process there was, he was going to switch into Hariyama. And if he went into Hariyama there, I think that would have been a better play, and he could have went for, or if I had knockoff, it wouldn't have mattered that much, and I would have been in a pickle there, because he could have taken out Liepard, and Seismitoad is at low health, so I couldn't even switch in really, because he could have just gone CC and killed anything on my team at that point. So that's why I went for the U-turn. And instead of the knockoff, I didn't want to go for the knockoff at that point, seeing as Liepard is faster than everything on its team. and on his team, and I was thinking about using these three guys, very valuable or very smartly end game. And once again, I'm just gonna go for the Earthquake. I do not care if he wants to bring in Scyther or Claydol, but if he did bring in Scyther right there, thinking back, it would have been bad, as he does bring it in on the down. And I was just gonna stay in Fodder Kangaskhan. If he went for Aerial Ace, he would have had to get max damage to take me out, and I would have been able to do a good amount of damage with Double Edge. He sacks his Claydol right here, but in fact I live the recoil, which is great for me. And he is going to again bring in the Scyther. So now it's 4v3. So I've been able to turn it around with these four a lot, from 6v3, 6v4 to 3v4. And I didn't go for the Sucker Punch there because in case he wanted to roost or the other thing, I would have been in a bad position here. Okay, look, okay, before it shows it. Oh my gosh. So here's my thought process on this. Okay, the Scyther is at a good amount of health, and I knew this was the biggest threat on his team by far. So he's going to switch out. I'm faster than him by a base point, so I'm definitely going to be able to outspeed him and go for the knockoff. I know he's scared of that, and he could go into Hariyama, and that would be very bad. But what I do go for, knowing, like, in my head, I have it 100% set that he's going to switch out, being the biggest threat on his team, Scyther. So I go for the Pursuit just to get that damage off and leave it all to Persian and Seismitoad. I was just planning, I know he's going to go into Hariyama, so my thought was Pursuit, and then when the Hariyama comes in, just knock off and sack my Liepard, get some good damage, and have Persian and Seismitoad be able to finish the game. So let's see how that works out for me. He does, in fact, switch out. I get about 29% on the switch, so Fake Out Double Edge will be able to kill. I was very, very happy. This was when I thought, I was like, oh my gosh, it's even right now. This is a great game. So I'm like, please don't have Fake Out Bullet Punch, but he doesn't go for either, and I'm able to knock off the leftovers, leave him at 52%. I was just so happy at this point right now. He lowers his defenses with close combat. He could have gone for Earthquake or something. I think that would have been better, but it doesn't really matter. Now I'm going to go into Persian, and I'm going to go for the Fake Out. Okay, I don't know what he was thinking right here, but the Scyther indeed can live a Double Edge because the Fake Out did 20, so I didn't calc it, but I'm pretty sure it can live a Double Edge. I would have to get max damage or crit for it to kill. So I would, and it can outspeed Seismitoad, and so I would use Lantern and Hariyama, and then use Scyther. But I guess Persian could switch out and switch back in. I don't know what his thought process was. I guess it was to use these two guys to defeat my two guys. So what he does do right here, instead of staying in, well, I guess it would have been dumb to stay in with Hariyama because he would have died. But his thought process was to sack the Scyther, I guess. Sack the Scyther because I go for the Fake Out, and Fake Out Double Edge is easily going to kill. I was really confused at this point in the battle as well because, as you can see, he could have lived a Double Edge, but I'm able to take him out solely because of that Pursuit. And he did such a good job of playing the rocks, not switching in Scyther, getting rid of the rocks and keeping them away. That I was just really impressed with that. So I go for the U-turn on the Lantern, and I'm going to go into my Seismitoad. And obviously he's going to predict that and go for the Ice Beam. I was like, if he has the Grass move, that's GG, but he doesn't. And here, I guess he could have gone into Hariyama. I don't know if Earth Power would have 2-hit KO'd it. Maybe it would. I think it would, actually, so I'm not sure. But I go for the Earth Power, and he goes for the Ice Beam. And so now I'm like, okay, it's all up to Persian. It's all up to if Persian can kill this guy or not. I don't think I have the calc still up. No, I wouldn't. I would show it. So I go into my Persian, and I'm going to go for the Fake Out, obviously, because that's going to do a lot of damage to anything. And now, oh my gosh, I was like, either way, at this point in the battle, let me resume it. Either way, at this point in the battle, I am very satisfied with this battle. This was the first battle, the only battle I played today. And when I play a battle, I'm looking for a battle like this. This was the most satisfying battle I've had in such a long time. And I hope I just didn't go up off of the screen record, but I don't know. Let's see what happens. So I go for the Double Edge and take him out. Man, oh man, was that a good game. That's what I typed in the chat. You can't see it, but I typed, man, oh man, that was a good game. That was such a good game. Oh my gosh. I feel like if he hadn't switched out with Hariyama and hadn't switched out with Scyther on those 2 turns, it would have been a lot different. But he did, so I was able to make a crazy comeback. Either way, that was well played by him. And I did make some flaws there too, setting up the rocks on that 1 turn. I think that's the only big mistake I made, really. Other than that, I could have knocked off when he switched out, but I think I played it safe. And oh my gosh, I want to do more battles like this, except I think it'll be more fun to do it with other people so I can really break down both sides. Though it might be longer, like this is already 15 minutes, I do now realize. But I hope you enjoyed, and tell me how you liked this video. I really want to hear feedback on this because I'm planning on doing more stuff like this, maybe cutting it shorter. If you made it to this point, let me know. Thank you very much. Have a great day.